Hello everyone, this is Jen from Generator 74, and I was home by myself today and just thought maybe I would try to make a few videos and we'll see if I actually load them or not. So this is going to be a card making tutorial using this older basic gray Konichiwa 6x6 paper pad. I've had it a long time. And I think I used it for one other project since I got it. I really like it. I think the papers are really pretty. But yeah, I've just been sort of hoarding it and not really using it. So I thought I would use that today. And I'm going to be making a side fold regular standard size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I don't know. Hopefully you can see I did actually measure the papers. I cut everything and then I measured them to give you the measurements because I'm not real good at the planning ahead. So this is just the red from this paper pad, and it is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then this paper is also from that pad, and it is cut at 2 1/4 by 4 because we're going to put it along this way. Now this piece of paper is not from this paper pad. I just had it in my scrap drawer and it seemed to go, and I just wanted a little bit of orange because there's orange in these little lanterns, but I didn't want the paper. There's one sheet left because I must have used the other one of the orange, and it was a little brighter than what I was looking for, so I just went with this. It's a scrap from another 6x6 pad. And this is 3 3/4 by 1 1/4, and it doesn't need to be 1 1/4. I just basically, this is the scrap that I had. So I punched, and you can use any edge punch you want to use. I just used this one from Fiskars, and this is the punch. They're not marked. I wish they were. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's what it looks like. So. And I dropped my staples earlier, so they're lying everywhere. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put a little adhesive on this, and I'm going to just attach it with a little bit peeking out. Now you could make this orange piece, you know, the length of this, which would be 4, but again, this is just what I had in my scrap bin. And this tiny little piece of orange is also not from this pad. This is another scrap that I had. It's a basic gray, it looks like, and it's just 3/4 by 4. And I'm just going to put that along the bottom once I get this adhered. So you'll want to get some adhesive on this piece and line it up on my mat. We're going to put it right about there, and then this piece I'm just going to put right below it, right along the bottom edge. Can't really see without putting my whole head in the frame, like that. So that's there. And then I got these stamps at a garage sale, and they're in a Close to My Heart box, but I don't. Oh yeah, they are. They're Close to My Heart. It has a label on the side, Close to My Heart, and it's the Oriental Foliage. She was nice enough to have the container marked, and this stamp actually has it on. It's the Oriental Foliage, S778, and these are very, very old. Like I said, I got them at a garage sale. So I used Stays On Timber Brown ink, and I just inked up a piece of vellum. And this is cut at 2 1/4 by 4, and then this piece of paper is from the pack, and it is cut at 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to, and honestly, I mean, this is why I probably went with this paper pad, just because this stamp I chose to use, and it just seemed to go with the theme. So that's why I did it. And also I did ink everything around the edges with Stampin' Up! Classic Stamp Pad Basic Brown. That's just what I use to ink edges when I want brown. it gives a nice distress look. Now with vellum, any kind of adhesive, and I found even with the vellum adhesive, it still shows through. So I am actually just thinking of using my tiny attacher and stapling this on here. I mean, it would be a neat element as well, and also it will hold it on. So I'm just going to do, I'm holding it flat while I do so. So like that. So it'll help the picture show through on the vellum, having something solid or solid-ish behind it. It's definitely not solid. It has a floral pattern on it, but it reads sort of more like a solid just because it's muted and there's no other colors introduced other than just a darker green of the same color and white. So there weren't really a lot of pages in this pad that were solid. Actually, I don't really think there were any, but there were a few that could be used. This was the most solid, and this has a lot of distressing, and then it has some text on it. So I haven't fully decided if I want to pop this up. I'm thinking I don't, because what I'm going to do is just put this little thank you right about there. So if I leave this flat down, then I'll just use some pop dots for this. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And I don't worry about going over the staples with my ATG. I just run right over them. I've never had a problem. It isn't chewing up my ATG gun, and this is the red one, so I've had this long before they even started selling the pink one and the purple one at like craft stores and such, so I haven't had any issues. I know I've watched other people's videos where they take the time to put like Scotch tape in the back over the staples, but like I said, I don't see the need for that extra step. But then again, I'm sort of a lazy scrapbooker. And for dimensionals, I'm just going to use these really flat ones. These old, I got them in the dollar bins at Target a long time ago when they were selling them. I bought like a ridiculous amount of them. I like them just because they aren't, like I said, real dimensional. They just give a little bit of lift, but if you're going to send this in the mail, it wouldn't give you any issues. Let's get the adhesive off the back of these. And then I'm going to, I don't want to cover up my staple, so I'm just going to put it right here so a little bit of the blue pokes out like that. And then put some adhesive on the back of this. Get it attached to my card base. So there's our front of our card. And I've been decorating all the insides of my cards for a long time now. I just think that it makes them, you know, a little more finished and gives you a specific place to write. So what I'm going to do is just use the scraps. This part I don't have pre-planned out, and I don't have anything really cut or measured. So, but this is what I normally do. I make the front the way that I want it, and then like I said, I just use what's left on the inside. So because this paper is oriented this way, left to right, it's got little birds and lanterns on it, I know that I'm going to want to use it in that way. So for this size card, I know that I'm going to cut that at 4 inches. And so that it matches up with the front, I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges using the same ink pad. And I'm almost out of Ranker for this, so I'm probably going to have to break down and I'll just buy a new pad altogether, because it's like all chewed up and nasty. Although they did change their the material that they use for the pads of their ink pads, so I'm not sure how I really even feel about that. Guess we'll have to wait and see. And then I'm thinking maybe I'll use this as what I'm going to write on, or the space to put my message. And I usually make that not very big. I do more talking in person. So I'm going to do that 3 3/4 long by 3 1/4 wide, just so that it doesn't cover up all the papers on the inside. And then this red piece, I think I'll just make a little narrower. Let's do 1 1/2 by 4, and then I'm going to cut a little edge on that. And there we go. I'll get that inked up. Have a 3-day weekend this week. So today's Sunday. My husband has to go back to work tomorrow, but I get the day off, so I'll probably be in here crafting again tomorrow as well. That's just what I do when I have some time. Get some adhesive on this. I work full-time through the week, so I don't normally craft during the week. Let's see how this is going to work. That would be okay. So if I line this up towards the edge over here, and then I can just put, so I feel like it needs to go like that. Like this. And there you go. I mean, you could put another sentiment on the inside. A lot of times if I use a solid piece, like a totally solid piece, I would use the same stamp with a really light ink and just stamp it on there, so you could just write over it and it would coordinate with the front. But when I'm using a paper like this, you know, I don't want to, I had 2 stamped because I think I might make a second card out of this paper pad since I haven't used it. So there's our card, there's our front. And it has a little bit of dimension there and some different texture with the staples and the vellum. I think it's interesting, and you can even see some of the pattern through the vellum. I like that. And then there's our inside. So that's that, and I'm hoping to make some more videos, so stay tuned. Bye.